Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Feel the year behind you, every lesson, every shadow, every spark of light that guided you here. You've walked through storms that others didn't see. You've held faith in moments when your hope was a flicker. And now, here you stand at the threshold of the last new moon of 2025. This is not just another lunar cycle. This is the final reset before the great turning of timelines. The new moon in Sagittarius ignites the fire of divine vision, the arrow of truth cutting through illusion. It's the final contraction before birth, the deep exhale before your spirit inhales its next evolution. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet tremor inside you, the knowing that something is shifting. It is time. The cosmos is aligning in such a way that your soul contract for 2026 is being written line by line, vibration by vibration, through every thought, every intention, every prayer that leaves your heart now. If you feel this message resonate with your spirit, subscribe and leave a comment below. It helps me deliver these divine messages to more souls like you, those who are ready for awakening. You are not here by accident. You were summoned. Now, we will dive deeper into the next aspect of your awakening. Chapter 2: The Celestial Call and the Mark of the Archer. Sagittarius, the archer of the heavens, draws back its bow one last time this year, aiming straight into the heart of truth. This final new moon is a cosmic arrow, flying through the veils of your old identity, piercing the illusions that once defined you. It asks, what story are you choosing to believe? Because the universe cannot rewrite the next chapter unless you release the ink of the old one. This celestial call is fierce yet loving, a whisper from your higher self saying, "Child of the cosmos, your training is complete. It's time to remember who you are." Look at your life these past months. Every delay, every redirection, every sudden ending, none of it was random. You were being prepared, refined, recalibrated for this very portal. December 19 opens the last psychic gate before the solar energies of 2026 arrive, a timeline split where old souls rise into leadership and truth seekers anchor the new earth codes. The question is no longer, what do you want? The question is, who are you ready to become? The archer's fire burns illusions. Let it purify you. Let it strip away every false label. You are not broken. You are becoming.
There is a very particular kind of pain that comes with awakening. It is not the pain of being broken by the world. It is the ache of outgrowing it. Because when your soul begins to rise, everything in your life that was built on fear, on pretending, on survival, starts to shake loose and fall away. You feel it in your relationships, in your work, in your habits, even in the way you speak about yourself. The old version of you, the one who agreed to stay small, to stay silent, to stay acceptable, starts to feel like a costume that suddenly became too tight. You can't breathe in it anymore. And so the seams begin to split. This is where the ego, the false self, starts to panic a little, because it was built to protect you in a world that did not yet recognize your light. It learned how to perform, how to please, how to adapt, how to hide the parts of you that were too much or too different for the people around you. But now, under this final new moon in Sagittarius, that protection has turned into a prison. The door is open, but the ego still clings to the bars. You may have felt lost recently, as though time itself has been dissolving around you. Days blur together, old dreams lose their color. The things that used to excite you don't reach you the same way anymore. It is not depression, even if it feels heavy. It is disidentification. You are unplugging from an identity that was never fully yours. Maybe old friends have drifted away. Conversations feel forced. The old jokes don't land. The old dynamics feel empty. This is not because you have become too much or too strange. It's because your frequency is changing. An energy that is not ready to evolve with you can no longer lock into your field. This is where many chosen ones stumble, mistaking this separation for rejection. You start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why don't I feel at home anywhere? But hear this, as a father speaking to the deepest part of you. Nothing is wrong with you. You are not being cast out, you are being carved out. Solitude in this season is not exile, it is consecration. When the noise quiets and the crowd thins, it isn't punishment, it's preparation. In that emptiness where no one else's voice is loud enough to drown out your own, you finally begin to hear the truth of your being. In silence, your spiritual nervous system resets. In stillness, your wings are measured and formed. So do not rush to fill the empty spaces. Do not cling to what is slipping away. Do not chase the old frequency just because it feels familiar. Familiar does not mean aligned. Familiar does not mean sacred. Breathe. The void you feel opening inside your life right now is holy. It is the dark, fertile soil of a new timeline being planted beneath your feet. This is the womb space of your next identity, your next mission, your next level of light. There will be days when your mind tries to convince you that you are failing because you don't recognize your life anymore. There will be moments when your heart aches for the comfort of your old patterns and people. But understand, you are not at the end. You are at the threshold. Everything that cannot join you in 2026 is being gently or sometimes violently pulled from your orbit. Not because you are unworthy of love, but because your destiny is too vast to be held inside the structures that were only designed for survival. The false self is simply too fragile to carry the weight of the light you are about to embody. This is the Sagittarius fire working inside you, burning away what is not true, not so it can hurt you, so it can free you. It burns the masks. It burns the obligations that were never soul agreements. It burns the narratives that told you to be less, dimmer, quieter. Surrender here does not mean giving up on life. Surrender means giving up on being who you are not. It means loosening your grip on the roles, titles, identities, and expectations that defined you in the old timeline. The version of you that only knew how to survive cannot cross into the version of you that is ready to live. So let yourself grieve. Yes, grief is sacred on this path. Grief for the self you thought you were. Grief for the connections that cannot continue. Grief for the years you spent trying to fit into spaces that could never hold your full spirit. But as you grieve, remember this: what is falling away is not your life, it is your limitation. What is collapsing is not your future, it is every structure that was too small to contain it. You are not losing yourself, you are finally losing who you're not. Stay with this process, stay with your breath, stay with the strange in-between where the old world has faded, but the new one has not fully formed. This is the cocoon of the chosen one, the place where the old identity melts down so completely that it can never go back to the way it was. Do not rush your metamorphosis. Butterflies are not created by forcing the cocoon open. They emerge when the time is right and the wings are ready. You too are being rewoven, cell by cell, belief by belief, into the truth of who you really are. The false self cannot cross into 2026 with you. It would only shatter under the voltage of your next frequency. So let it fall away with gratitude. Thank it for keeping you alive when you did not yet know how to live from your soul. And then, gently, let it go. Because what waits on the other side of this surrender is not emptiness, but expansion. Not nothingness, but a completely new way of being. A life aligned with your highest trajectory. A reality that matches the vibration of the truth waking up inside you now. Now, we will dive deeper into the next aspect of your awakening. And then, almost without warning, comes the breaking point. The place in your journey where the old scaffolding finally gives out. The moment when the image you've been carrying of yourself can no longer hold the truth of who you are becoming. It doesn't always look dramatic on the outside. Sometimes it looks like you sitting on the edge of your bed at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, realizing, I can't go back to who I was, but I don't fully know who I am now. That in-between, where the bridge behind you has burned and the new land is still hidden in fog, that is sacred ground. Your life may feel upside down, fragmented, chaotic. The plans you had carefully laid out no longer make sense. The roles you used to perform so easily now feel heavy, almost impossible. You look around and it feels like the meaning has been drained out of the old story. It's disorienting, and yet there is a strange sense of honesty in it. This is what many mystics call the dark night of the soul, not a punishment, but a passage. It is that season where the light you used to feel goes dim, where your connection to the divine feels distant, where your prayers sound like they're bouncing off the ceiling. And still, somewhere underneath all of that, there is an awareness watching, saying, something deeper is happening here. This dark night is not the end of your relationship with the divine. It is the burning away of the version of you that only knew how to relate to God through certainty, through comfort, through constant reassurance. Now you are being invited into a rawer, more intimate faith, one that trusts even when it cannot see or feel. This is divine choreography. What feels like chaos is actually recalibration. What looks like collapse is often reordering. What you call destruction is frequently the spirit arranging the furniture of your life to make room for a greater purpose. Your routines are disrupted so you can discover your rhythm with the divine. Your outer frameworks are shaking so your inner foundation can finally be built on truth. When light touches shadow, it burns it out of hiding, not to shame you, but to free you. So, if the journey feels too heavy, breathe. If you feel like you're losing control, understand that control was never meant to carry you into your next season. When your old sense of meaning collapses, it is not because life has betrayed you. It is because your soul outgrew that level of meaning. The universe has not abandoned you. Heaven is not silent because it stopped caring. The silence is often the space where your deeper self is given room to speak. Your tears in this time are not a sign of weakness. They are sacred waters, baptizing you into a new state of being. Think of metal placed into a fire. The heat is intense, the structure softens, the old shape distorts. To the untrained eye, it looks like destruction, but to the smith, it is transformation, the only way to mold the metal into the form it was destined to take. Your life, right now, is passing through that spiritual furnace. The confusion you feel is not a defect, it is a spiritual rewiring. Your mind is learning that it cannot be the sole authority anymore. Your heart is learning to trust a deeper guidance, a longer timeline, a higher orchestration. You are being taught to lean into what you know in your spirit, even when your circumstances have not yet caught up. So when you look around and it seems like a soft dawn begins to rise inside you, not outside, not in the sky, but in the secret chambers of your own being,
The same life that felt scattered and chaotic just a little while ago now starts to reveal a faint but undeniable pattern. You notice the way certain memories glow differently in your mind. The heartbreak that once felt pointless now shimmers with hidden wisdom, like a constellation you couldn't see until you stepped back far enough. You begin to realize nothing in your story was random. Everything was preparation. Every delay that frustrated you was stretching your capacity. Every closed door redirected your steps toward a path your mind never would have chosen, but your soul secretly longed for. The people who left didn't exit your life because you were unworthy, but because they were never meant to walk with you into the frequency you're entering now. The cycles that repeated, those patterns in love, in money, in self-worth, were not proof that you were cursed. They were the curriculum of your awakening. Each recurring lesson was spirit saying, "This is where you are being trained. This is where you are being made strong. You were not being punished, you were being forged." And something clicks. You start to see how the Sagittarius New Moon, this fiery, truth-seeking lunation at the end of the year, is not just an event in the sky, but a mirror of what is happening within you. Sagittarius is the sign of meaning, of vision, of long-distance trajectories. It doesn't care about surface-level appearances. It wants to know what you believe, what you aim at, what you live for. So here you are, standing under the final new moon of 2025, realizing that your entire year was one long conversation between your soul and the universe. Every "why is this happening to me" was actually an invitation into "how is this happening for me?" Every wound was an opening. Every disappointment was a course correction. You were never lost. You were being repositioned. You were never behind. You were being aligned. All those times you thought you had missed your chance, the truth is, divine timing was just refusing to let you settle for a life that didn't match your true frequency. The new moon energy now gathers all those threads, all those scattered pieces, and weaves them into a single revelation. Your soul has been steering this ship the whole time. Can you feel it? The veil between random and divine orchestration is thinning. Where you used to see accidents, you now see alignment. Where you used to see failure, you now see refinement. This is revelation, not as a big, booming voice from the sky, but as a deep inner knowing that lands in your chest and won't let go. The energies of 2026 shimmer on the horizon like a new, uncharted world. Astrologers speak of this new moon as the last major reset point, a moment to plant soul-scale intentions that stretch far beyond temporary goals and into the core of who you are becoming. It hums with a new vibration, calling you to live truth not just as an idea you agree with, but as a reality you embody day by day. Sagittarius is the cosmic archer, drawing back the bow of your life. What you point that arrow at now is crucial. This is not the time for shallow resolutions or should-based goals. This is the time for intentions rooted in integrity, choices that line up with your deepest values, your highest vision, and the whispers of your own soul. So the universe asks you gently yet firmly, what have you learned from your pain, and what will you do with that wisdom? What patterns are you ready to bless, release, and never repeat again? What kind of human do you want to be in 2026, not just in public, but in your private thoughts, in your quiet moments, in the unseen? Because here is the deeper truth. This new moon is not just about manifesting things, it's about manifesting you, the most honest you, the most courageous you, the you that doesn't betray your own spirit just to belong, impress, or stay safe. you start to understand that your desires themselves are not random either. The call in your heart to create, to serve, to teach, to heal, to speak, to build is part of a larger cosmic design. You came into this lifetime with a unique set of gifts, wounds, and strengths that perfectly position you to be a medicine carrier for specific people at a specific moment in history. And that moment is not someday, it's already unfolding. The cosmic wheel turns, and Sagittarius hands you the torch of vision. What you dream now, with your whole being, not just your mind, becomes the seed of your next reality. Intentions set under this new moon carry momentum. They echo into the coming months and even years, unfolding toward the Sagittarius full moon in 2026 and beyond. So this is where you pause, place a hand over your heart, and get radically honest. Not, what do I think I can get? Not, what is realistic based on my past, but what is true for my soul? What would my life look like if I trusted that truth? Maybe that truth is that you are an artist even if no one has ever paid you. Maybe that truth is that you are a healer even if you still doubt your own worthiness. Maybe that truth is that you are a leader even if you've spent most of your life being overlooked or underestimated. This new moon doesn't ask whether your truth will fit into other people's expectations. It asks whether you will honor it anyway. This is the hour of remembrance. You are the bridge between worlds, the translator of divine frequency into human action. You are here to turn spiritual insight into lived reality, to let your daily choices be the sermon, the ritual, the magic. You are not just here to watch the shift, you are here to be the shift. So you take a breath and let the revelation settle. You see the past differently now. You feel the present more vividly, and you sense the future not as something that happens to you, but as something you are actively co-creating with the divine. Under this final new moon of the year, you are being invited to pick up the pen and consciously write the next chapter with heaven. To say, I understand now, I see the pattern, I claim the wisdom, I release the rest. To plant intentions that sound less like demands and more like declarations of alignment. I choose truth, I choose courage, I choose a life that reflects who I really am. The old narrative of being a victim to circumstance begins to dissolve. In its place, a new identity emerges, that of a conscious co-creator, a chosen one who knows that every step has been guided, even when the path was not visible. You feel yourself standing up a little taller, breathing a little deeper, trusting a little more. This is revelation. Not just seeing the light, but realizing the light has been inside you the whole time, waiting for this exact moment to be recognized. Now we will dive deeper into the next aspect of your awakening.
Above you, in realms your eyes cannot see, but your spirit can feel, a council gathers. Some call them angels, some call them guides, some call them the Council of Light, high-frequency beings, elders of the cosmos who have walked with humanity since the beginning. They are not here to control you or override your free will. They are here to support your remembering, to nudge, to whisper, to align. They speak in a language beyond words. You hear them in sudden intuition, those quiet inner knowings that arrive without logic but land with peace. You feel them in the way certain songs, numbers, or encounters seem to appear at exactly the right time. You see them in dreams, symbols, signs, feathers, repeating numbers, perfect coincidences that keep telling you, you are not alone on this path. This Sagittarius New Moon, so close to the Galactic Center, the heart of our Milky Way, amplifies those transmissions.
It's like a cosmic Wi-Fi boost, strengthening the signal between your soul and the higher realms. The alignment at these final degrees of Sagittarius acts like a spiritual broadcasting tower, sending out frequencies of vision, faith, and expansion to any heart willing to receive. Your guides, your ancestors, your higher self, they lean in a little closer now. They have watched you walk through the fires of this year. They have seen the moments you almost gave up, the nights your chest ached with silent questions. And still, you chose to stay, to keep going, to keep searching for truth. Now they remind you of something vital. Your alignment is not a small, private thing. It is a node in a vast grid of light, a luminous point in the web of humanity. When you shift, the collective field shifts with you. When you release fear, you are not just freeing your own nervous system, you are contributing to a world with less fear in its atmosphere. When you forgive, you don't just clear your own heart, you help dissolve ancestral and collective patterns of revenge, blame, and separation. When you speak truth with love, you don't just liberate yourself, you give silent permission for others to do the same. This is your role in the divine network. You are a tuning fork. As you calibrate to a higher frequency, you naturally invite others into resonance. You may never know how far your ripple travels. A kind word here, a courageous boundary there, a piece of art you share, a message you post, a prayer you whisper. But in the subtle realms, nothing is wasted. Everything counts. You were not sent here to convince everyone. You were not sent here to argue people out of their illusions. You were sent here to shine in such a way that those who are ready to remember will feel something in your presence awaken inside of them. Your job is not to drag anyone into the light. Your job is to tend your own flame until it becomes a lighthouse. 2026 will bring acceleration in technology, in revelation, in collective awakening. The astrology of this new moon hints at new beginnings tied to higher learning, truth-telling, spiritual expansion, and long-distance journeys, both literal and metaphysical. But you cannot ride that wave of acceleration if you are anchored in old fear. You are invited to enter this next chapter purified, clarified, aligned. So tonight, under this Sagittarius new moon, you are asked to stand in spiritual adulthood. No more living as if you are disconnected, powerless, or unseen. You are a co-creator now, a conscious participant. Whisper your truth to the stars. Not the polite version, not the version you think sounds spiritual, the real truth of your heart, the longing, the calling, the "I'm ready for more, even if I'm scared." Let the cosmos hear your clarity. Say with your own voice, "I release what no longer aligns with my highest path. I release every agreement I made from fear, shame, or smallness. I step into my power with grace, humility, and truth." As those words leave your lips, something happens. The Council of Light, your guides, your ancestors, they respond. Not with fireworks or dramatic visions necessarily, but with subtle shifts in the grids around you. People, opportunities, ideas, and synchronicities begin to move. Destiny starts reorganizing itself around your vibration. You might notice in the weeks after this new moon that certain paths open effortlessly while others become blocked. This is not random, it is guidance. It is your yes to alignment echoing outward and the universe answering back through circumstance. You are invited to trust this guidance more deeply now, to see delays as protection, to see redirections as blessings in disguise, to see intuitive nudges as part of an ongoing conversation between you and the divine. Remember, your guides are not distant, formal beings. They are like wise elders, loving friends, and cosmic mentors, walking beside you with patience and humor. They understand your human fears, and they also see the magnificence you sometimes forget. They know the contracts your soul made before you incarnated. They know the gifts you are here to unlock. So ask them. Ask for signs that are clear and kind. Ask for support in releasing what no longer fits. Ask for courage to step into what does. And then stay open to the text message that arrives at the perfect time, to the idea that lights you up out of nowhere, to the invitation that feels like a door into a bigger life. Know that as you align with your higher path, you are not just doing it for yourself. You are doing it on behalf of your lineage, your community, and the future generations who will inherit the world you helped shift. Your healing becomes their inheritance. Your bravery becomes their starting point. This is divine alignment, not a rigid, perfectionist path where you never make mistakes, but a living, breathing relationship with Spirit, where you listen, adjust, and keep moving in the direction of truth. You do not have to get it all right. You only have to keep saying yes to the deeper call and no to what dims your soul. As you do, heaven and earth bear witness. The Council of Light rejoices quietly, not because you became perfect, but because you chose to participate, because you remembered that you are part of something vast, loving, and intelligently woven. Now we will dive deeper into the next aspect of your awakening.
This is your coronation moment. The years of solitude, the heartbreaks, the tests, they were not punishment, they were sanctification. Every fragment of your identity that was shattered was making room for your divine blueprint to emerge. You are not here to chase success, you are here to anchor light. The new moon opens your soul command center, a portal in your heart that connects directly to divine will. Through it, you broadcast frequency. Through it, you manifest alignment. And the universe listens differently now because you have matured vibrationally. Your word carries presence. Your faith moves matter. You have become the message. Under this final moon of the year, raise your intention not from desire, but from devotion. Speak as the chosen one you are, awakened, grounded, surrendered, and on mission. Remember, destiny is not something that happens to you, it happens through you once you say yes to the calling. Now, we will dive deeper into the final aspect of your awakening. Take another deep breath. Feel the pulse of life running through your hands, your heart, your crown. You have crossed through the fires into light. Heaven admires the ones who choose truth when it breaks them open, and you, yes, you listening now, have become a living temple for that truth. Under this final new moon in Sagittarius, at the edge of the year, you stand at a sacred doorway between what has been and what will be. This new moon is your threshold. Step forward not in fear, but with reverence. Step as one who knows you are not chasing light, you are it. You are not waiting for divine timing, you are the divine timing. The shift is not coming, it's unfolding through you. Let this be the moment you remember your oath, the promise your soul made before it entered this body, in this lifetime, at this exact turning of the ages. Let 2026 find you wide awake, grounded in purpose, heart unlocked, spirit radiant, not because life is perfect, but because you have decided to live aligned, no matter what. This is your moment, your timeline, your divine calling. If this message spoke to your heart, subscribe, comment, and share this light with others on their path. Together we rise. You are not just supporting a channel, you are saying yes to being part of a living field of awakening souls, answering the same call across the world. Now go, step into the new dawn. The archer's arrow has landed, the future is listening, and you are ready.